Well, look what we have here. There's a new Frontline in the realm, and she is badass, or should I say bad Ash? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Ash, the newest champion in the realm, the War Machine, the Bologna of Paladins, kind of, it seems like to me, and a very, very fun and exciting tank that makes me want to jump into the Frontline role and call it my main. Ash brings a whole new dynamic of champion into the realm, which is a Frontline tank that has an AoE presence. Now, there are other tanks that have AoE damage technically like Fernando, but they don't do it like this. Let's get right into Ash's left mouse button called Burst Cannon. Now, this cannon fires a shrapnel round every 0.9 seconds that explodes in an AoE, dealing 400 damage and dealing gradual fall off the farther away you get from the center of the explosion. Now, the cool thing about this weapon is that it actually explodes mid-air and has a relatively mid-range fighting style. So if you are on the point, it allows you to kind of shoot above things and still hit in a cluster around you. This can lead for her having more of a willow effect in terms of her damage, and that means that she can hit a lot of people for a decent amount very often and really rack up some serious numbers. Ash is kind of like a bully on the battlefield, and this weapon is really perfect for her style because anyone near her is going to feel the brunt of her intention, which is to kill them all. She is really a crazy damaging tank when she's able to do what she wants to do, which is be in your face, be in the fight, stay tanky, stay healed up, stay protected with her other skills, and then just blast away with this cannon, hitting all 5 members of your team. Now, Ash also has some personal space issues, and don't worry, you'll see what I'm talking about. Her right mouse button is called Kinetic Burst, and it allows her to superheat her next shrapnel round. So this actually affects 1 ammo in your clip, so if you have no ammo, you'll have to reload before this activates. When you next fire, the round will instantly explode in a frontal cone, dealing damage and applying a knockback, and it's a pretty far knockback as well. The best way to describe this is displacement, and very, very tactical displacement at your disposal. This could knock somebody off a map into the water, this could push somebody off a point for overtime, this could help a payload push go into a conversion because you just blast everyone who's defending away from the objective. It is a really strong situational ability that allows Ash to have a lot of control, and especially with you as the playing Ash, having the control of when you want to use it, when you want to empower that next basic attack. She also has some cool cards for this ability that synergize with her shield and also synergize with her staying healthy. She can heal up for how many people she actually hits with this, and it's on a relatively low cooldown, so it's really impactful, and I think this is going to be a big part of Ash's playstyle. Now, what would a tank be without a shield, ladies and gentlemen? So Ash, she's got to bring that to the battlefield as well with her bad Ash attitude. Siege Shield, that's her one ability. That's going to be on the queue if you play PC. She's going to deploy a 5,000 health shield that advances forward. Now, some of you may be thinking, wait, shield, come back, please. No, I need you here. That's why I put you here. I mean, you could tell there's some issues there because even her shield is running away from her. I don't know if it's she's got stanky breath, she just didn't take a shower, she got to switch deodorant. I'm not sure what it is, but the truth is Ash's design actually symbolizes a different style of tank in a lot of different ways. We talked about the AoE and now the shield, a big component of what she does differently, which is helping to siege back onto a point. There are a lot of situations where you lose the objective. Maybe you don't have enough staying power, you lose a flanker really early in a fight and you're forced to retreat. Ash's specialty is allowing her with that moving shield and her teammates with that moving shield to stay undercover while aggressing onto a space. This is something that no other tank can really do while stay effective while fighting, and that is the big key that Ash brings to the realm. Having the ability to kind of push forward with the shield, constantly having cover as she's getting closer and closer to that objective where she ultimately wants to stand on, can really put the enemy team in a deficit by the time she gets there and maybe swing the tide of the fight. Her gun is kind of like a battering ram, and I think that's a good way to think about her and this shield. It's kind of like you're breaking into something, you're breaking down a wall. That's where this shield really has its power, and there's a cool legendary that allows you to play a little bit more traditionally with the shield moving a lot slower. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. Now, Ash's style, art design, animations are amazing, but this one might be my favorite. I mean, the VFX as well and the sound effects just go hand in hand with everything that she's doing, but this shoulder bash, it just looks so good. Ashe, she lowers her shoulder and hurtles forward. When she hits an enemy, she will deal 800 damage and apply a strong knockback. Now this knockback is legit. I don't know this, I can't confirm or deny, but were our designers listening to Ludacris when they made Ashe? I mean, I feel like the theme is move, insert champion's name here, get out the way, insert champion's name here, get out the way. For me, this skill has two major components. One, it does 800 damage, which is insane. That's fantastic for her in finishing off or putting lower health champions like flankers or damage dealers in trouble. That means that a Skye or an Eevee, somebody like that, is going to take almost half their health with this one ability and get totally displaced from the fight. That's a big game-changing thing that will pretty much make sure that they stop aggressing on your team. The other aspect about this that I find pretty important is the fact that the distance is so great. A lot of champions, tanks specifically like Fernando and Makoa, have movement skills, but those movement skills don't travel this far and this quickly, and that is what Ashe brings to the table. She could recognize a situation is either getting very bad or about to become bad and decide to either leave or charge in and change the dynamic of the fight. It's a great escape and it's an action movie entrance. Any way you use it, it's pretty much going to find a lot of value, and it's so much fun to watch people go flying across the map. This is a great ability, probably one of my favorites here, and the ultimate, it just adds so much synergy to this. Ashe has a certain, how do you say, je ne sais quoi about her that just means she doesn't like to die a lot, and her ultimate, Assert Dominance, helps with that tremendously. What she'll do when she presses E is leap forward and plant her banner in the ground, dealing 350 damage on impact and creating a damage immune zone for 8 seconds. And that is only for you. You have to remain in the zone to receive that immunity, but if you do, it means you cannot take damage for 8 seconds. Oh my god, Raynday, what are you doing? Nerf this champion. I'm going to quit. I can't believe Paladins did this again. Oh my god, this first Willow, and now you're gonna put a champion like this? I just can't believe it. I quit. Now, before you have that reaction, I just wanted to have it for you. Now we can get on the same page. Here's the deal. Assert Dominance, it's a great skill. It's actually really, really good for Ashe, and it buys her a lot of time. It buys her teammates a lot of time as well, and that can often be the difference maker. If you've got a healer and they're just alive with a pulse, they're probably going to be able to heal you up within those 8 seconds. It does, however, create this one girl against the world scenario, because a lot of times Ashe will be the last woman standing in the fight, considering that if she's using this, things may have gone not necessarily to plan. It's not a big damage boost either. 350 damage is kind of what Inara was around when her ultimate first was released, and that was really not game-changing, we found. It's just not enough to really secure a lot of kills, and it's not enough to really put someone into a position where they feel they've got to retreat from the battle. And it does have a potential counter, and that is CC. The thing is, Dread Serpent, Makoa Hook, Torvald Hyper Beam, all these things can move her away from her flag. You don't want to fight her near her flag. That's just the case with Ashe. You just don't want to do it. But if you can move her away, she doesn't get that damage immunity anymore. It's only when she stays within the zone. So team compositions, when facing a really good Ashe or knowing Ashe is going to be a problem, have to focus on how they can remove Ashe from that damage immunity. And if you are low and she is low, what you can do is actually run away. This becomes a lot stronger once you have to fight on the point with Ashe, very much like a Grumpy Bomb from Bomb King. If you see it coming, it's 3 seconds of a detonate, you can run away, you don't get stunned. But if it's overtime, you have to stand there, you have to face facts with what it is and either take the damage, have a shield up at the perfect time, or in this case, fight Ashe, who can't take any damage and is shooting you for 8 seconds. Now, does this ultimate look awesome? Yes. Is it strong on paper and even when you play it? Yeah. But does it break the game? Absolutely not. I really wouldn't take it that far. A lot of people said that about Willow's Dead Zone, and look at where we are now. Willow has not even close to the effect a lot of people would have guessed she would have after first seeing her abilities on paper. So play it, try it out, really just be aware that sometimes things seem or sound a little stronger than they are, and sometimes things actually are really that strong. And either way, you get the feedback once you actually play it, not after you look at my video and you read some words on a page. Having play tested this champion for at least a month now, I definitely don't feel that this ultimate is too much to deal with, but I think it's awesome. I think it's really strong. I think it's an ultimate worthy the ability, and I'm really excited to see how it impacts the tank play in the upcoming patch. Last but not least, let's talk about Ashe's legendary card. She's got 3 and they all do some very interesting things. Her first one up is called Battering Ram. This is her shoulder bash legendary. What this allows her to do is gain CC immunity and 90% damage reduction while channeling shoulder bash. That's right, 90%. Pretty much means you can't kill her while she's dashing, and she can create that huge distance gap like her dash does and be safe while creating that gap. An Ashe who picks this legendary is trying to focus more around her dashes and really getting into precarious situations and getting out safely, maybe acting as more of a secondary tank, maybe baiting her opponents to try and finish off or throw a lot of skills onto her, and then getting out of there, allowing the rest of the team to follow up while she heals and gets back into the fight. Her next legendary is for all those people who said, "What? I don't want my shield to move that far." It's called Fortress Breaker. It allows her siege shield to actually move 80% slower, and it also has 3,000 more health. So what it means is you got a very 8,000 health tanky shield that's pretty much able to be played on the point. So you can play more traditionally like a Fernando or, you know, a Barrack, where you get onto the objective, you throw your shield down and you kind of fight around it. It moves slow enough to really be impactful there and kind of changes her playstyle and gives you that more, I guess, we're here, we're staying here, and we're bunkered down defensive mentality that Ashe can bring. I just want to say that these legendaries are really cool because they really change your playstyle, and I think that that's an awesome aspect of legendaries, being able to say, I want to be this kind of an Ashe or this kind of an Ashe, and really have those two choices be very different. I love that. Last but not least, we have another ultimate legendary. Now, these haven't been popular in the past, given the fact that you can't always count on your ultimate to be ready in a fight, and it doesn't happen all the time, just once, and if you don't capitalize on that moment, then you kind of wasted a legendary. But here it is, it's called Rally Here, and it actually allows Assert Dominance, her ultimate, to jump up and stun enemies for 2 seconds on impact. It also grants allies within 100 feet increased damage for 3 seconds, which is pretty exciting. Now, you can't overlook 20% more damage, but a lot of people often do, especially in the pro scene, so I wouldn't be surprised if this ultimate legendary is still not widely used, but I think it actually has some potential. A 2-second stun really changes the dynamic of the fight, and adding 20% damage amplification to anyone around while you yourself are damage immune for 8 seconds creates a real bad problem for anyone who got that stun on them. To me, it comes down on whether you feel the siege shield moves at the right pace for you. If you think it should move slower, you're probably going to take the middle legendary or the legendary regarding the shield. If you think that it should stay the same way and you're fine with it moving quickly, then you could take either one of the legendaries and really feel impactful with either choice that you make. So I really love it. I think these are great skills, and her cards, they're pretty fun too. Thanks so much for joining me on the channel today, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully uploading some gameplay of Ashe so you could see this in action. Let me know which legendary you're most excited to see me play with, and I'll try and get that type of footage for you. As always, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and I'll see you all next time.